Hey guys, Nubkeks here. In today's video, I actually want to dive into a really good Reddit post, which was made by Kamikaze28 just yesterday, or last night, or whatever, on the Heroes of the Storm subreddit, where he's talking about ranked points being a reward in Hero League, in the ranked mode of Heroes of the Storm, and how and why that should change. So yeah, I want to give my thoughts on a couple of the main points that he made. If you want to check out the full article, I recommend it because it's really good. I'll put that in the description. But we're going to go and scroll on down here. And we're going to look at this idea that ranked is framed as a reward in the game. So, you know, when you win a match, you get a big thing, and right bang in the middle of your screen is, boom, plus however many points, plus 200 points, minus 200, or whatever it is, and you see the thing change. So it's this really strong imagery. It's this really strong indicating in the game that your rank points these are your reward. Or also the other flip side of this, which he points out as well, is that losing rank points is your punishment. And that's what that's the main thrust, that's the main goal of playing ranked mode, of playing Hero League, is to accumulate these points and not to lose these points. I've talked about this before, and I think that it is a huge part of tilt and of rage as well when you're playing the game, because ultimately you can come back. It can be very frustrating for someone. Let's say you sit down, you watch a guide, you're like, okay, I want to be the best Hanzo possible. So you sit down, you watch the Hanzo guide, you're like, okay, cool, I've learned the Hanzo guide. You go and you practice a bunch of quick match, whatever, you've studied up a bunch, you're watching your streamers play Hanzo, and then you come into your rank game, you're like, yes, here I am, I've studied up, I'm ready to go, I'm going to be awesome, I've played a whole bunch of Hanzo, I'm ready, I've learned so much more, so much better. And you play like 3 games, and then you just, you know, you have teammates, like maybe in one game you've got some guy Flames that goes AFK, in the second game the enemy team is just awesome, they outplay you, in the third game this may be a close game but ultimately you guys lose, and you're sitting there at the end of the day and the game is just telling you minus 200, minus, and you're almost down an entire league in the game, or maybe you have dropped down a league and you're just sitting there going, wow, okay, I just put in a ton of work and I feel like I really improved, and now the game basically is very directly telling me, well, you suck. Right, you're bad. You know, get better. You suck. You suck. You suck. Minus points. Minus points. Minus points. And here's a big shiny thing that everyone can see that determines how good you are. Bam. Minus. Make it smaller. Make it worse. So yeah, I've talked about that before, and I think it can be a problem because that can lead to a lot of frustration and rage, because ultimately there's only so much control that you do have over whether you win or lose a game of Heroes of the Storm. You're 1 person out of 10. I had to think about that. I had to make sure I got the right. Not even hard to do, but I had to think. But you're 1 person out of 10. All right. So your influence, your impact on the game, it is there, but it is relatively small. That's about 90% of the game's outcome is determined by people who are people that are not you, to put it in a very overly convoluted way. Now, I thought that there's a few really interesting ideas. That was kind of my tangent tied onto this. But he has a few really, really interesting ideas. It's Kamikaze28. He has a few great ideas here. Let's go through them, and I want to talk about the ones that I think are really good and why they could be really good, as a way to sort of reimagine Hero League a bit in Heroes of the Storm, you know, considering now that the game isn't updated as much as it was before, and there is no HGC, right? So number 1, he's saying decouple end-of-season rewards from ranked, okay? And that this change alone would alleviate a lot of the negative consequences that he talks about. And it also would do the one that I talked about there too. He's saying, instead of the rank a player achieves, I'd recommend using the number of ranked matches played or won to determine rewards, similar to the newly implemented quest line, in order to be eligible for the end-of-season rewards. Since this is mostly involved change by things, blah, blah, blah. Exempt from this point, of course, are rewards like season portraits, which are inherently ranked based. I think this is a great idea. I actually think this is really good. Tie it into, like you said, the number of matches played, or probably matches won would be just fine for a ranked mode as well. It's the same as when you're sitting down and you're trying to do one of the regular quests in the game, or one of the event quests in the game. That can be a really positive thing. That can add a lot of enjoyment to the game, because even if you go in and you're playing a bad game, you might go, okay, well, at least I still made a little bit of progress on my quest. Even if the game wasn't that great, even if we lost, well, hey, I still built up some, a game on support. So that's pretty nice. That counts towards the quest, or even if it's for a win or a loss, at least you're going, well, we lost, but I didn't lose any progress on my quest. I'm still working towards that cool reward, that cool cosmetic thing that I want. Awesome, great. We'll just play again. Maybe we'll win this one, and then I am making progress on whatever that quest might be. So I think that's a great idea. I think that would also make that seasonal quest line that we have in the game now a lot more interesting. Because right now it's just you do a few quests and you get some gold. Nobody really cares about gold, at least not that much. It's an awful lot cooler if that quest line could be much bigger, much longer, and you could have a variety of different options. It could be very creative with exactly how that quest line bakes down and how it boils down. You'd have different options tailored towards people that favor different roles, so on and so forth. There you go. And you can tie in like, a season themed skin, season themed mount. You could tie in a ton of things to that, so that even if you're going, well, we lost the rank game, well, hey, cool, I still made progress along my quest to the new skin this season. So I actually feel good. I feel like I've achieved something this game, and that, feeling good is good. That makes people happy, and it is a game, and that's kind of the point of it. Move the display of rank point changes after the game from the reward screen to the statistics, and possibly display it for all players in the match. It's just kind of saying that the context here is important, and this so forth. This would also present the opportunity to immediately display the rank point changes of all 10 players in a match, potentially making the entire process more transparent and understandable. This information is already available. I think that's kind of nice as well. Instead of saying like, again, what I was saying, when you see this thing and you get the big minus 200 points on your screen, it is very much kind of at maybe a subtle or subliminal level, but it is the game going, you, minus 200 for you suck. Whereas if you kind of look at it and you see the rank changes for everyone after the match, you're kind of going, okay, well, yeah, minus 200 for me, but also minus 200 or whatever for these other guys on the team too, and like some nice bonuses maybe for the enemy team as well. And you're kind of going, okay, well, it's like plus 400. I don't know if that's actual number. I've heard there's some crazy numbers this season. A plus 400 for that guy in the enemy team, their Hanzo. Oh wow, that Hanzo is actually really good. I guess that Hanzo, he's a bit lower ranked, but he played out of his mind this game. So okay, sure, we lost, but I guess their weakest player actually played super well, much better than he was supposed to. That makes me feel a little less bad about losing, because someone that deserved it did actually get a bunch of points. That's not so bad. I think by showing everything, it's actually kind of nice. I think that's pretty good. There's obviously going to be some frustration tied into it, like you're going, man, our Hanzo sucks. Why is he only getting minus 100? I got minus 200. F that guy, he should be minus 5,000. But I think it would be an improvement overall, nonetheless. I'm kind of curious what you guys think about that. I think that's a more controversial one. I actually think this is a fantastic point as well. Stop using rank points as punishment for disconnects during the draft. It says, as mentioned previously, I highly doubt the efficacy of this measure, seeing how it can be mitigated entirely by winning a couple of ranked games. Well, I don't think that, I think winning a couple of ranked games, that can actually be a pretty big deal for a lot of people. So I don't think it's a question of it being easily mitigated. I think the bigger question is that, if you have a disconnect quite irregularly, like if you disconnect, once a month from a draft, that's probably not enough to stop you from playing ranked, but it is enough that 2 or 3 times during the season you could get minus 600 points just like that, and that can feel really damn shitty because it's something that happens so infrequently. It has very little impact on anybody else, but it's a massive negative impact for you, especially if you don't necessarily play that many games. Minus that many extra losses, as it were, in terms of points added to your rank. That can suck. So that's my thoughts on that one. Now, what I recommend instead is an exponentially growing number of penalty games of quick match or unranked that have to be won before the player is allowed back in ranked. Now, I think this is a great idea. So number one, the games have to be won. So that they can't just go into those games and like troll or go AFK or whatever. But I think that's a good idea, if you disconnect, you're going to be locked out for maybe one ranked game, go play another mode, you're locked out of rank. You have to, I wouldn't even call them penalty games. I'd just be like, there's a lock on ranked, and you have to unlock ranked by winning games in other modes. So it frames, the framework is that being able to play ranked is the reward. This is something good that you want to do while you disconnected to earn the right to play ranked again, you're going to have to earn it back by playing other games. Again, it's kind of the same result. You're still doing the same actions, but it's the way that it's framed, I think, is kind of nice. And again, it's an exponential counter. So the first time you disconnect, maybe play 1 game. The second time, maybe 3 games. Then the third time, maybe 10 games. It could be exponential scaling. Who knows what the scaling exactly should be, but you get the idea. It's that someone that disconnects, once a month, the punishment is tiny. But if someone is disconnecting all the time, it's kind of going, okay, dude, listen, your internet connection kind of sucks. Yeah, sorry, but this is not a good idea for you to do. And yeah, you could eventually disqualify yourself from the ranked season. And again, if it's not necessarily your ranked points that are unlocking rewards, but more so just the number of games you play and the time invested, that's going to unlock most of the rewards. Well, then not being able to play ranked means it slows you down from getting those rewards. So those two things, synergizing, working together, which I think is cool. Rebranding ranks with something Nexus themed. I want to mention this measure, but he's thinking it's probably a bit too much work to actually happen, but using Nexus-themed labels for ranks would avoid the association to sports awards, contribute to a proper understanding of ranks. For me, I personally don't think this is important, and I think you can just avoid that. I mean, ranks like that are used across nearly all games. I don't really think what you call them matters. I think it's very clear to people what ranks actually are. So I think I don't actually agree with this one. Maybe it could be kind of cool, but I personally don't actually think there's enough Nexus lore to actually make it make sense and not be just a weird arbitrary change that doesn't really need to be there. But yes, on the whole, I think this could be a nice way to change up ranked. Like I said at the start, the HGC isn't there anymore. So it's kind of the question of, why invest so much time into ranked? Why really push for those high ranks? And for a lot of players, I think it probably leads to more stress than it does to more enjoyment. I think that there should be, portraits based on rank, and I'd be pretty much happy as well if there was some special reward for Grandmasters, because I think, that's, for people in Master and Grandmaster, those should be the most competitive people, and they're pushing for it, and they're going to thrive in that more competitive environment. I think that should be fine. But I do think that then for the broad spectrum, the other 99% of people that are playing and want to enjoy ranked, I think adding a ranked quest line just based off of number of games won and other cool things you can do as well. Again, give them role specific things they can unlock, a cool skin for their role, whatever. You could do some really awesome stuff here without all that much work that could make ranked a much more enjoyable experience, to feel like you're constantly working towards something cool that isn't necessarily tied to winning and climbing a ladder. That by being part of the ladder and encouraging people to play more, which makes the ladder better, because more people playing more games, better ladder. But it encourages people to play those games and feel like they're still getting something good out of it, even when they're losing sometimes. And I think that'd be a great idea. And again, just kind of rejig some of the stuff, change the reward screen so that the rank points aren't shown as the central piece of it. Change the rank points as punishment. So just remove that idea that rank points are the reward and the punishment, they're your punishment for losing. It's what you're fighting for. Move it more towards this. I think that could be great. I think it'd be a really nice way to encourage more people to play ranked, to participate, and also for people that are already playing it, just to enable them to enjoy it a bit more and to have more to look forward to, rather than coming, again, stepping away after. There's nothing worse than stepping away after day of ranked and going, well, damn, I just lost 5 games in a row. I tried my best, and you have people flaming in those games because you're losing, and people flame when they're losing, and blah blah blah. And man, what a horrible experience! And I've just walked away in every way worse for the experience than for the best. I think something like this could really help. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of curious. And again, do check out the full post here. There's some extra stuff. I couldn't cover everything, but this video is already long enough. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. Bye bye.